A debt settlement agency is not making any settlement payment to your lender. They are not fronting any money in the resolution of your debt. A debt settlement agency only takes the role of talking to your creditors to negotiate the settlement on your behalf. In my experience, there are two kinds of debt settlement agencies, one legitimate, the other fraudulent. And even in the case of the legitimate agencies, neither are necessarily working with your best interests in mind. Even a legitimate debt settlement agency that can provide a reasonably valuable service is still a business in business for its interests. And as you'll see, those are not necessarily in alignment with yours. We will talk about the legitimate agencies first so you can really get a sense of what this service is. And then at the end, I'll point out to you what the fraudulent agencies are and how to make sure you watch out for them and don't do business with them. Generally speaking, using a debt settlement agency is going to cost you more than settling your debts yourself. Customarily, their commissions range between 10 to 20% of the total amount of debt settled. Not the settlement amount, the total amount of debt you had when you went to them asking them to start settling out your debt, which means for a $50,000 debt, their commission will be $5,000 to $10,000, money that I believe you could be putting towards a settlement negotiated directly with your creditor instead of paying it to a middleman for doing it for you. The other way using a debt settlement agency costs you more than doing debt settlement yourself is, as I said, their interests are not the same as yours. Their interest is to get in and out of this deal as quickly as possible, make their profit, and move on to the next customer, which means they are not likely to want to spend the amount of time it takes to get a lender to settle at, say, 30 to 35%, as you could do if you were to take more months doing it on your own. They will likely get an offer in the 50% range and then recommend it to you as a very good offer. They may even start using your fears against you and saying things like, this is a great offer, it's not going to be on the table forever, you should take it, we can't guarantee they're going to keep offering it after a while. They want you to take that 50% offer in a month or two because they don't want to spend 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 months trying to get down to 35%. But let's look at the numbers. If you were to negotiate a 35% settlement with your bank directly on that same $50,000 debt I talked about, you'd pay about $17,000 total settlement on the $50,000 account. If your debt settlement agency recommends you take a 50% settlement, you're now spending $25,000 in settlement to your lender and that 10 or 20% $5,000 or $10,000 commission to the agency. So you've now spent $30,000 or $35,000 to settle your $50,000 debt instead of $17,000 that you could have done on your own. That is quite a premium to pay to somebody to do it for you. You would really have to be in the position of having more money and less time to feel that using a debt settlement agency, even a legitimate one, is going to be in your best interest. And in my experience, most people who are suffering under the burden of credit card debt have more of a luxury of time and less of money, which could, if you do it yourself, give you the ability to settle for less cash than an agency is going to do on your behalf, trying to get out of the deal as quickly as they can to increase their profit margin. All debt settlement agencies essentially offer the same service, but when you're dealing with a reputable one, the thing to note is that they will not ask for any money up front. The debt settlement agency will negotiate with your lender. When they reach a settlement offer from the lender that you approve, even if they recommend you take a higher one than you could get on your own, when you approve it, you will send them all of the money for the settlement amount, including their fee. They will deduct their fee from the amount that you've sent them and act as a pass-through for the settlement amount to go through your lender. That is the role of a reputable debt settlement agency.